You know, but cheating on what I just said. Speaking of this lead up to E3, I was not interested in Halo 5 Guardians. I was like,
really?
Yeah. Well, I just didn't care. I was like, okay, this is played out. Like,
Halo's done.
Halo's done, in my opinion. Like,
Why? Because of Master Chief Collection, or
no? It had nothing to do with that. What I mean is that, like, the Master Chief storyline, when you really, because I am almost an expert at the Halo lore at this point. But he's been through so much that I was kind of okay with Halo 5 being about Spartan Locke, the new guy. Like, okay, somebody pick up the mantle. Well, no. So there's a big announcement today in Game Informer where I guess Halo 5 Guardians is going to be a little bit more like Star Wars. Oh no, it's going to escape me, isn't it? There's a Star Wars team-based squad game.
Republic Commando?
Republic Commando. So it's going to be Halo with Republic Commando elements.
Okay.
Where, like, you're leading a Spartan team. Which sounds cool
isn't
as
that
hell.
what... I mean, I don't know. I never played them, obviously, but isn't that kind of what Reach was?
No, so Reach was... You were simply one guy, and there were other Spartans kind of hanging out with you. Like, they would go off on the other sides of the map and do other things while you did your thing.
Right.
Whereas this is... If you ever played Republic Commando, which I did... you have three guys right behind you, to your sides, and you say, go to this route.
Yeah, it's
point,
like Ghost Recon,
enemy.
but Star Wars.
Yeah, and it was a lot
and better
of fun.
than Ghost Recon, because I never liked the old Ghost Recon.
So it could be really cool if you have a team of Spartans that like have to interact together and do really cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm excited. I'm excited because I posted this on our Facebook group. Hunt the Truth, the podcast, has been blowing my mind. Have you heard about this?
Hunt the Truth? No.
I missed it until I was just randomly scrolling through the iTunes podcast.
Is this like a Halo like ARG or something?
Basically, it's their next ARG, and of course there's all the things that they've done in the past where they have the tie-in movies and then you have the virtual reality and real life stuff. So this is amazing because basically they're taking elements of Halo Legends and some of the other
the lore stuff,
from other different parts of the media, and they're doing a narrated journal entry kind of thing, which has turned out incredibly. So it's produced really, really well. You truly feel like you're inside of the story, and the story is that there's a journalist named Benjamin Gerard.
No, you fucking God damn it.
This is a journalist named Benjamin Gerard who was going through a news story with Oni's blessing, which is basically the government. But then he starts to find that the government planted all this evidence about Master Chief that wasn't true and was trying to do a giant cover-up, and he figured it out.
The government was trying to cover up Master Chief?
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Cover up his origins.
Oh, okay.
So the Spartan 2 program was all experiments on 6-year-olds. And all of the 6-year-olds were mostly from outer colonies. So they were very rarely from inner colonies. So effectively, and this is huge spoilers, but we're at that point. Effectively, Oni was using kids from the outer colonies to basically incite violence and quell the outer colonies. So Master Chief, of course, before the Covenant came, the original reason for the Spartan 2s was to take care of the resistance movement that was being built up. And it's a fascinating look at his origin story that a lot of the details was already known between the comics and the anime and things like that.
But now it's like wider audience.
It was narrated so well, and it provides the perfect entryway into Halo 5 because you actually get to see... They've been calling Master Chief a traitor for months, and no one knew why. And I was like, that's wild. Why would they say that? And then now we're going to learn through this podcast. There's only one episode left. There's been 11 so far. We're going to learn exactly why he was called a traitor, and it's so exciting. Like, I love when companies do these kind of out of the box ways of getting fans excited. Like, this is the kind of thing where fans are like, I want this. Like, I would love to have more information that I can just dive into.
That's cool.
It's been a lot of fun. I don't know how many podcasts you listen to, but there's a podcast called Serial, which I haven't listened to, but it's produced by NPR, and it's basically like any good whodunit, like movie or TV show condensed into just an audio. feed.
That's
and I'm
cool.
telling you, I'm walking around my house just like cleaning things up. All the lights are off, and there's this creepy piano play that comes in every once in a while. I was like, dun dun dun, and like you're creeped out, like you're in this. And so for someone who loves the Halo lore as much as I do, it's just perfect.
So yeah, so that's leading into Halo 5. Why now you are interested in Halo 5 because
Right,
of
I
this?
wasn't originally, because I was literally like, alright guys, like, it's really cool
Yeah.
that in Halo 4 we got to see what happened to the Master Chief. Like, he didn't just die out there in space. But, and I'm only one level into Halo 4, admittedly, so it's hard for me to say right now, but I have kind of spoiled it for myself by reading it all. Like, we saw the end of Cortana and Chief's relationship. Right. Chief is now without his primary best friend partner. So just let him move on, in my opinion. Like, it'd be like if the next Mass Effect 4 was with Commander Shepard again. It's like there's only so much trauma and excitement these characters can reliably take. And that's kind of my thing, is like, when I think about the Metal Gear Solid series, which I haven't played, and I'm talking out my ass here, but like, we're talking about one character going through his entire life, being hunted and killed and stressed and all these different things, and it's like...
Well, let me throw one thing at you for that.
Alright.
It's two characters.
Okay, so I have heard that, yeah.
So there's that.
Which is
Metal
really
Gear, Metal Gear
outsider.
2, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 4 are Solid Snake. MGS3, Peace Walker, and the new one, 5, and Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, all of that. That's Big Boss.
Which, by the way, from an outsider's perspective,
Yeah,
I don't know
totally,
what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
And I know there's Liquid Snake and all these things. It's like, oh god, too much.
Right. Big Boss is in the past. He was the super soldier. Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Solidus Snake, all these other snakes, they're clones of him. And when you start Metal Gear, like the original Metal Gear on NES, you play as Solid Snake, who's a clone of this guy, and you don't know that.
Okay.
The clone stuff all starts on Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation 1.
Interesting.
So, we finally get to play as the original guy in MGS3 and MGS5 and stuff.
Alright.
So, doesn't really change your argument. Like, Solid Snake has been through a lot of shit. And MGS4 was his last game. Like, he finally got put to rest. His story ended.
Okay.
But with MGS3 before that, and now with Peace Walker and MGS5, they're going back and finishing basically, effectively, his father's story.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's cool. And the thing is, it's like, I hold up Half-Life as obviously one of the best games ever made. In similar vein to Mass Effect, like, in Half-Life, everything that occurs in the current canon occurs in about a week's time.
Which one?
Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, and the episodes.
Really?
It all occurs in basically a week, because he's put in
know that.
stasis for 10 years in between. So it's a few days. It's like it's 1 day. It's like 2 days and 1 night, if I understand it correctly, for Half-Life. And then he's put in stasis for 10 years. And then he wakes up and doesn't realize. So then he's got 1 or 2 more days in Half-Life 2, and then 2 days in the episodes. So yeah, it's about a week's time. You know, and so that's an insane week for one human. But it's not like, you know, it's not like we're saying, okay, wow, that's really neat, little sonar thing. It's not like we're saying Gordon Freeman fought with the Resistance for 20 years and now we're picking back up where he left off. It's like, at that point, like, I just lose touch with the character, because it's like, I like my superhumans to be in abilities, intelligence, luck, but not necessarily in just like longevity.
Right.
Like in Mass Effect 1 was really long. There's a lot of things that happen in it. 2 was shorter. 3 was shorter, if I understand it correctly, in time frames. And that's fine, because I still haven't played or beaten Mass Effect 3, but like, Shepard's story's over, and that's good. Like, bring somebody else in. Like, play it. I love it when
agreed. Like, the Mass Effect trilogy, I don't think they should do a 4. Like,
well, they're not, right? Yeah. So apparently,
as far as we know,
the next Mass Effect is going to be just in universe, which is what I want.
That's what it should be. That universe is rife for way more stories.
Yeah.
But Shepard's is done.
They've created an entire ecosystem that they can now do things in, which is amazing. It's like when they did Half-Life Blue Shift or Half-Life Opposing Force. Like, it was the same timeline, different perspective, which is amazing. And Portal fits into that too. Portal is contemporaneous with Half-Life, so you're just like, holy shit!
Yeah,
like all these things are coming around. That's really.
I love
cool.
that aperture was like a thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that they weaved that in. You know, and it's like, so I would love to know what Garrus did between Mass Effect 1 and 2. He has some amazing side stories that could be cool for fans.
I bet Garrus pre-Mass Effect could be interesting.
That's true too.
Or like, is it Rex or Grunt? Whichever
Rex
one.
Is
like,
the older one, yeah.
Just the Krogan storyline.
Yeah.
Of
Like, God, man. Just imagine
awesome.
that we do like 2,000 years of Krogan War. Like,
Yeah.
that would be sick. And that's the kind of things where I'm sure these ideas get popped out, but it's hard to take a bet on that sometimes.
Exactly. It's a big investment.
Which I will say as well, I was reading an article about how big of a bet the new Mad Max was.
Oh God!
Have you heard of that?
The movie or the game?
Fucking
both.
Just the fact that Mad Max wasn't Mel Gibson reprising a role. It wasn't just kind of like playing off of the third one. Like, it was literally like, okay, we're gonna do this director that doesn't necessarily have a big name, and we're going to do a part of the series that just sounds insane. And I love that. I haven't seen it yet, but man, I'm excited. Like, Jurassic World, super cool. Love that it's coming back.
Yeah.
But we know what we're getting.
Oh, yeah. I'm not, like, it's not going to surprise me.
Yeah, no.
It's going to be a fun movie.
Whereas, like,
that's all I expect.
Everything that I hear from Mad Max is like, holy shit. We can't believe this exists. Which,
oh yeah, it's something surprising. I agree with that. Like, I don't want to shit on Mad Max or anything because I know a lot of people like it. I liked it too.
Look, I rewatched the first one recently, and I've got 2 and 3 on my iPad. The first one sucked. Like, it sucked hard. It was basically a campy B movie that I can't believe actually exists.
I think they're all like basically campy B movies, but they're even from a B movie.
I just mean that, like, oh god, I'm trying to think of a. Wow. I'm trying to think of a good parallel to this, but, like, in the first Mad Max, like, you just know that, like, there are some outtakes that are actually intakes. Like,
really?
It's just, like, there's these, like, oddly placed, but, like, totally self-aware gay jokes, and the actors kind of, like, look at each other and grin as they say them, and I'm just like, come on, guys.
Wow. I haven't seen any of them other than the new one. Yeah. And the new one does make me kind of want to go back and watch them. I don't expect it to change my mind about the new one.
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to see what the hype's about.
You know, again, I don't want to play this game, but I respect it for the fact that, like, somehow every level is different. Yeah. Every enemy is unique. This is exhausting to watch and keep up with, but wow, it's a lot of different enemies and platforms. So, props to you guys.
We're about to fight Legion.
Legion?
Yeah. I think you will like Legion.
We'll see about that.
It's too bad that Game Grumps is already a thing, because I feel like we kind of embody that too. So, do you know the basic idea of Game Grumps? Is that it's one's a grump and one's like not so grump. He's more like, you know, chill with everything that's going on. He's just like, yeah, I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not that I hate gaming and gaming culture. It's just that, like, it can be. There's so much better that we could be doing with it.
Stop it! No, just let me through.
Getting wrecked. I think in my bio on the site I put largely disaffected. So that's kind of where I'm at with this.
Yeah.
So I was talking to David just yesterday.
David
Barn.
Okay.
He was telling me about House of Wolves, which I still have yet to play, which makes me a terrible person.
On Destiny.
Yeah, you're done. You just don't play.
I know.
You should give
sad.
up. And when Rebecca gets there, I'll tell her the same thing. Just don't play. You're already too behind.
No, if you wait long enough. I just got the armor that gets better as you get exploration in the castle.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Nice and arbitrary, just the way I like it.
I feel like it's going to be like any other MMO, where if you wait long enough, you'll be able to jump in at some point. Because, like WoW, you know, now you can fucking jump in and, like, oh, we'll just, for a couple bucks, we'll just give you a level 90 character, and you can work your way to 100.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but it's...
There's all this story that I never got to experience.
Yeah.
So, with Destiny, it's like, there will be a point where they probably have to do something universe-shattering, which you can't come back from. And it's like, okay, well, now all of the original story isn't there. Like, we have to kind of figure it out as we go. Eventually, right? I mean,
why?
Think about it.
Because of, like, Cloudicalism? Like, that kind of thing?
Well, eventually, yes. Because, basically, what we've done in Destiny so far...
All you gotta do, though, is make a time travel,
Wow.
where you can go back and do old stuff.
Fair. I guess just, like, there's so much to do already that I just want to be realistic with the two of you. Because, like, if you jump in now...
But isn't most of what you have to do grinding? And they can expedite grinding.
But...
Which is what will happen.
Well, they've already started, actually, so
yeah.
Check us out. So, in this new expansion, it used to be that you'd buy armor, and then you'd have to level it up to get your light level increased.
Yes.
This time around, your light level is automatically at the highest, and you're just leveling up the perks. So you can go from level 32 to 34 really quickly, whereas going from 30 to 32 was a grind.
So they got rid of light levels?
No, it's still there. It's just
but they just worked differently.
Yeah, it just made it easier to not grind.
Well, that's good.
Well, yeah, but,
But now everyone else missed out on the grind trail?
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's like, there's nothing that you're going to miss out on by not grinding. But, like, if I started Destiny today, I'd be like, whoa, shit, do I want to play these new House of Wolves levels, or do I want to play, the Dark Below storyline, or do I want to go figure out about the Geth? Or not the Geth, what am I saying? Although I did say...
That would be a twist.
I did say that...
Destiny was, like...
The next Mass Effect. Surprise!
Somehow connected to the Mass Effect story.
I did say that the the Vex were the game's Geth, because you're starting to see that, like, a lot of these sci-fi games use the exact same language.
Yeah.
And it's troubling, but I understand it. Like, there are Prometheans in Destiny, and there are other things like that like Mass Effect originally did. So it's like, whatever.
Well, it's like, there's a reason Mass Effect named them that kind of stuff, and it's like... There's a point when your names are coming from real things that other people, are going to end up using, or have already used at some point.
So how much more we got left? How much? 93%? 96%? Where are we at?
We're just about... All we have to do right now, before we can go and fight the boss, is we have to go get the silver and gold rings so that we can get the holy glasses. Remember I told you about the thing of possessing Richter? All that stuff.
If you played through this for the first time, would you have any idea?
If you were doing the exploration aspect, yeah, you could figure it out.
Like, what does the game do to allow me to know that these are all things that I should be doing? No one's telling me to do this.
No.
You're just kind of exploring.
If you look at this map, see the top left gray area up there?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the gold ring is, I believe. So you have to get the spike breaker, which we just got down here with the bat sonar thing, to get that. You need to have the spike breaker and the mist to get to that room up there. And then over here on the middle right, which is where we're going to head right now, you can see a gap that leads to another area that we haven't been to. There's no gray boxes there, but there's a little hole in the white wall. That's where you get the silver ring by fighting the succubus, which is what I told you, like, that's where you get the storyline from, like, his mom and stuff, and, like, it gives you the backstory on why he fights his father. That's where we're going to go now. And then once you have both of those, if you look at them in the equipment screen, like their descriptions, it just tells you that you need to go to the clock tower and wear them.
Oh, neat. Okay, so I've never been able to actually get past the first, like, 30 minutes of a Metroid game. Is it the same thing? This is just literally, like, go to every room?
More or less, yeah. Like, Metroid and Castlevania at this point are very similar. It's like it's actually a weird thing to say, like Metroidvania. Like, that's kind of the genre name for this kind of game. Although, of course, Metroid's been doing it since the original Metroid, like 87. This was like 90 something.
So how come what are some other Metroidvania games that are worth playing?
Oh man, I don't even know. Like, I would love to find some more. I would assume Shovel Knight is like Metroidvania,
true.
but I'm not sure. I think Shovel Knight's still more of like a stage like level based game. I think you pick the level you're gonna go to. Like, I think it has an overworld map like Mario 3, and you kind of just pick the level you're gonna go to. Fucking, I hate these guys. They just fill the room with fire, and you can't fucking go anywhere.
See, I grew up on Mega Man, where it's like 8 bosses, and then a mini boss, and then the boss.
And I would say Mega Man, and in this case Shovel Knight, games like that are sort of a version of this, where it's like, they are stage-based, you pick the level, you go to it, but then there is this idea of exploration in that level, where you can go through, just fight the boss and move on, but usually there's stuff for you to find, you know? Or you need the right weapon, or the right whatever, to find, like, that energy tank, or to get that heart.
Yeah.
Or find some extra, armor.
The first 2 times I played through Mega Man X, I didn't even know
that there was
energy tanks existed. I didn't know that, like,
the armor.
Because these games are tricky. Like, you have to, like, headbutt dash a ceiling tile to get rid of it, and then you move forward. And, like, back in the day,
that flame mammoth one is fucking.
That's
the one I always forget about too. Every time.
Back in the days of, like, magazines, where it's like you're just reading these magazines, they tell you that these tricks exist. It's like, oh, cool.
From Nintendo Tires, yeah.
But don't just go looking for them.
I kind of... It depends on the game I'm playing. Like, I'm typically super exploratory. Like, I look for everything that's in a game when I can. But some games I don't care as much.
Yeah, see, I have the exact opposite feeling. Like, I'm like, alright, we're gonna get through this level.
Come on,
here we go.
hit the switch, jerk. Maybe I have to leave and come back.
Go! For example...
Are you serious? It's right there.